Hello everybody, Farm Sim Snowy here. So this video we're going to take a look at the new dynamic pastures we can now create and also the grazing side to it. There's really cool features to it, but there's also a couple of little things that I'm not too sure about, and one thing I'm not overly impressed with, which I'll cover in this video. Now the game only came out yesterday, so whether it's going to get fixed or updated or changed, I don't know. So depending on when you watch this, it could very well be different to what you're seeing now, but for now this is how it is, and I'm going to go through some things. I have done a little bit of testing. I've basically taken over this whole field here. I'm on Hutan pan tile, it doesn't really matter. I put a farmhouse down so we can skip forward. There's a water tank there, etc. I've covered it in asphalt because that's going to help me show you something else a little bit later, so it's a little bit easier to see. But basically what we need to do is go into your build mode, and we need to go, so yeah, look, I've just completely covered this whole area. Probably not going to use all of it up, but we'll see. So you need to go down to your animals menu, which is there on the left hand side, and then up the top we've got all the cows, pigs, etc. like that. Now you can use this on all the animals, the dynamic pastures, apart from obviously bees and the dog house. The only pens that it works for grazing are the cow pens, pastures, barns, whatever you want to call them, and the sheep barns. And we'll talk about those in a little bit more detail. Cows a little bit disappointing, sheep pretty win-win situation. But the final product is always a little bit disappointing, and that will make sense as we go on. Now, one thing to point out quick, water buffalo and goats are new animals in FS25. Water buffalo will go into these cow pens and barns. You can mix them with cows, not a problem, and the goats will go in the sheep pens and pastures, and again you can mix those two together. So what we will do is place down a cow barn. Now, another thing I will point out, you need to be careful because some of these pastures and barns, etc., they will not be there for producing milk. So if you look down the bottom where it says cow pasture, it says a place to keep your cows. Attention, this is a breeding barn, therefore milk production is not possible. So you need to be careful, and there's I've changed over. There's three of those. That one there is also just a breeding barn, and this one here. So the only one, or the first cheapest one we can use is this guy, 254 grand. So mods, hurry up and come out. Now this will hold 50 cows. We will place this down. Another thing to say is the price that you see on the screen there, whatever you're putting down, a chicken pen, a sheep barn, a cow barn, etc., you are going to get charged that regardless. So as soon as you place down the building, that money is going to come out. It's whether you want to make the pasture bigger, you're going to get charged more. So if I zoom in a little bit, you see the fence there now. That is the standard fence line for that pasture, for that barn. So you don't have to extend it, you can place it down as is, but it will be that size, and you will only be able to put 50 cows, up to 50 cows in there, or water buffalo. So that is that, but we can customize it, and this is where it starts getting cool. So I'm going to place that down there, pretty flat this ground, I've leveled it out a bit better. It comes up with that screen. It says, do you want to customize the fence for cow barn? So like I say, if you hit no, it will place down just that standard fence line that I've just talked about, and that will be your pen. You'll only be able to put maximum of 50 in there, but I'm going to hit yes, and what it does, if I zoom in, you have these two green posts either side of the pen. What I will say is, just to be careful, I would pull away from the barn so you realise which post you're starting from, because on some of them you actually start on this side, and I didn't realise I was on one cow barn, I think it was, and I thought I was starting this side, and I come across and I completely put a fence line across the front of the barn there so the cows wouldn't be able to get out basically. But anyway, we're coming out of this way, so as you can see, money goes up, a little bit like placing hedges and the grapevines and things like that. So it will go up the longer you do it, but the good thing is you can do really random turns and funky shapes, and you can come out and you can go back that way if you wish. You can come up. Very random what you can do, and you can make it as big as you want. Just keep hitting it. You can go around trees, buildings and things like that. But at the end of the day, you need to come back and meet up with this green post, and when you get near it, it should snap into place like that. See that? Snap. You hit that again and it comes up with that. Do you want to plant the meadow for cow barn? Now if I hit no, it won't put any grass down, and that asphalt will stay. So your cows will be roaming around, or whatever animals you're using, they will be roaming around in the texture that you already have down. So we don't want that. We want to place the meadow. That has obviously charged us for all that fencing, so be careful, make sure you can afford it. But I believe placing down the meadow doesn't cost you anything. I haven't seen any price change or anything like that. I've done it. So let's hit yes. Money hasn't changed. Now it'll always still have this barn here again, like as if you want to place another one. So just cancel that out. And as you can see, it's placed down a nice meadow and that weird shape that we've created. As you can see, nice grass in there. Happy days. I'm just going to jump out of there. Now, if I run over to this cow barn, I've got field info on. If you look at the field info down the bottom right, it's got meadow down at the bottom, but it says 0 litres. Now, this will create a literage, but you need to skip on 1 month, which I will show you in a moment. And just bear in mind as well, if I run around this side of the pen, remember this barn should only hold, or would originally only hold 50 cows. Because we've made that pasture bigger, this will now allow us to put 117 cows in. So obviously the bigger you go, more cows you can go, and I believe you can go up to 1,000. I basically put a barn down in this corner, roughly where we are, and I went all the way out, all the way round, up and round, took up this whole area, came back, and it was 773 cows it allowed me to put in there. So you can imagine the size of the area you're going to need for 1,000. Now obviously it's not going to put 1,000 cows out there, it would just put a few out there like FS25, otherwise it's going to cause problems with the game. So you'll only see a little bit here and there. Whether the cows do go right out to the boundaries that you've created, I don't know, but they will appear obviously out there. Now I am going to max this barn out, so we'll put some Holsteins in there because we want to create some milk, because this is another thing that I need to show you, which is interesting as well. So there they are. I'm going to open that door, and now I'm going to put down another cow barn. I'm going to put exactly the same one down, so it will be this one. We'll put that fella down, say there. I'm going to do the same again. I'm just going to make a weird sort of shape. It doesn't really matter. I'll just come round out. I need to leave a little bit more room because I'm going to show you some more pastures as we go. And then we'll come down a bit like that, and then we'll go snap onto that again. Look, it snaps. Hit that. Yes, we want the meadow down, and we'll clear that out, and let's put that meadow in as well. Now this is part of my little experiment that I'm just going to show you as we go through this. So it's kind of like a little bit of testing as we go, just to show you guys that I'm not going insane. So that allows us to put 135 in that one. So there we go, we've got some cows in there, and again meadow appears, look, at the bottom on the field info. So we've got 2 pens with cows in. Now I'm also going to place down, where should we put it? We'll put it over here. We're going to go and put a sheep pen down because this is quite interesting. Now obviously it doesn't matter with your sheep like it does with the cows breeding pens. The sheep pens are all the same. You will get wool out of all of these. So it's 14 grand just this one. And again, if you don't customize the fence line. That is the size of the pen pasture you're going to look at, and you're going to be looking at 19 sheep. So we'll place that down. We will customize that. So again, we'll just pull out like that. I'm not too worried about the amount of sheep we have in here. It's just for sort of purposes like this. There we go. So we've got sheep in there. Can I quickly jump to them a bit quicker? There we go. And I'm going to put in some sheep, so it should be 19. That's bumped it up to 48. So we'll put in 48. And there we go. And as you can see down the bottom as well, on the field info, we've got meadow. Now, what I'm going to do off camera, I'm not going to touch that first barn. I'm going to put TMR in there. And I'm going to give these guys water. I'm not going to give them any feed at all, and then we'll come back and I'll show you, and I'll talk about a couple of extra things as well. So I will see you in September, and we'll talk about the next sort of thing. Right, we're now into September. One thing I forgot to mention, probably didn't have to do it, but I put straw into both the cow barns and also put down a manure heap extension there. So we are getting manure, as you can see, on both pens. And if we look at this main menu, this was the first barn that we put down with the 117 cows. We are getting slurry, we are getting manure because I put straw in. There is no milk. Now it does show the meadow there. We've got 23,262 litres. That's 40%. Now, as far as I can tell, the meadow for cows doesn't do anything. I also put grass in there, didn't do anything. No milk, I mean by that. So grass and meadow aren't producing any milk. So if you just feed them that, you're not going to get any milk. That's what I found out. So you need to at least give them silage or hay. I tried both of those, they worked, and obviously TMR is going to work even better. That's 100%. But as far as I can tell, grass and the meadow don't produce any milk, which is a bit disappointing. If we scroll across to the other cow barn, same thing. We've got some slurry, we've got the manure, you've just seen that one there. This is that pen. And again, the meadow, because it's slightly bigger, 30,161. That will go down if we leave that, which we are going to on the very first pen. But if we scroll across to the sheep, all I did was gave them some water. Now they have drunk almost 1,000 litres of water, but it's been a month, so that's fine. The meadow is showing 13,027. You can see it's gone down because that bar would have been full, because that's obviously the whole area that we put down. It will show up to 100%. That's gone down. So the meadow works with the sheep. Also grass or hay will work with the sheep 100%. We've got a little bit of wool as well, 45 litres, which is awesome. So if I jump across to there, as you can see, we have got water. One thing I have noticed with this pen, I will just jump in this and reverse back to show you, because I do need to top the water up. There's no trigger coming up. So I'm right by the water thing. There's no trigger coming up there. If I hold R1 down, and where are we? Oh, don't play up. Let's see. Well, something's not right here. I'm sure there is. Oh, there we go. That did come up there. That is very fiddly. I had no icon come up earlier, but it allowed me to press R1 and triangle. There it is, dump water. That never came up before. Right, so that should be full up. It only takes 1,500 litres. I've got some TMR mixed up here in this guy. If you don't know, these guys are awesome. You can turn them on like that and they will shred bales. You can make TMR in these. They are a bit expensive, but you could probably just lease one, or if you've got loads of money. I've got bales over there. You literally just go up to them with that started, it will shred the bales in and you can still make TMR with just hay and silage, which is cool. So you don't need to go through the straw and mineral feed. You can just use hay and silage as long as you get the ratio right. I'll probably do another video, separate video on making TMR though, but for now we're going to tip this in. We're going to max this out with TMR. That's that pen, isn't it? In fact, I think that might not max out. That will probably be enough for what we want to do though, experimental wise. So they've got TMR, they've only got the meadow. The sheep are doing okay, they've only got the meadow. We're going to jump through into another month. I will walk up the ramp. So just to clarify again, the meadow 30,000 roughly for that cow barn, sheep pasture 13,23. You know they're going to go down because they will. I'm going to sleep through to, what are we at, 10? I'll do 10 again. That's a whole month then. We should have milk in that cow barn showing. He says, hopefully. This is a long sleep. Come on, there we go. We're out. Right, let's have a check. So this is the first pen. Wow, look, the meadow, they've eaten all of it. That's cool because I can show you the next thing now, which I'm a little bit disappointed in. And if we come across the sheep, they're doing well. Again, they've got a lot of wool there now. Look, there should be a full pallet over there. Awesome. That has gone down. So the meadow will go down, as we can see from the cow barn. And again, with this, we have got the meadow's gone down. The TMR's completely gone. And they've started eating the meadow again. But look, we've got some milk. So it will give you milk if you use anything else apart from grass or meadow. Now what I have noticed is the cows will eat the best feed, so the top feed, which is TMR. So if you've got something in all of those bars, they'll eat the TMR first, then the hay, then the silage, then the grass, and then the meadow. Or if you've just got silage in there, they'll eat that first. Once that's gone, or if it's gone, they'll start eating the meadow, but you're not going to get any milk from that, so just be careful. So they will kind of eat down the list, so to speak. So that's where we're at with that. So basically these guys, if I don't give them any more TMR, they just carry on eating the meadow, and that will be it. It'll run out. The same with the sheep. Once that meadow's gone, that's it. And this is the disappointing thing. We've got all this lush grass still in here, and it's technically useless. It doesn't regrow, it doesn't reset as far as I can tell, and that's a massive gripe for me. I would have liked to have been able to, I don't know, do something with it. I mean, you can't get in these, there's no gates, so you couldn't put some fertilizer down or anything. I don't know, just making things up now. But it's a real shame that that doesn't reset. It's very random. But look at this. If we do this now, and I know this isn't a full-on tutorial showing you how to place them down, it's kind of gone into showing you other things. If we go to this cow barn, and on the left hand side, sorry, I don't know if my right's for the left, we're going to get rid of all of those cows, so we'll sell them off. They have gone. I'm going to go up into this menu. I'm going to sell that off. So that disappears. It still leaves this grass. Now it doesn't come up with field info or anything like that, but I did mow this. It allowed me to mow it. I picked it up. It did become grass. I did it with a loading wagon, so you can get grass off of this. But this is interesting as well, and this is winds me up even more, because that technically should regrow to become another meadow. But if we were to go down to animal pens again, and I'm going to just choose a sheep pen because they're smaller, I'm going to pick this guy. I'm going to place it down here in the middle of this grass, this meadow, like so. Now do want to customize the fence. No, I don't. I'm not interested. So we'll click no. And I don't want to plant the meadow because this is what I want to show you. So I'm pressing no to that as well. Do not want to plant the meadow. There's already grass there. So no again. Come out of that menu. Now if I run up to here, that's showing a meadow. So that then becomes useful again. Whereas all this round here is not useful unless you're going to mow it up. So I don't see why you should have to get rid of your animals and then the building for this to become sort of active again. That's really disappointing. That's yeah, that's not on really. I hope that gets sorted out. But unless I'm missing a trick, that's what I've sort of figured out and sussed out myself. It's really disappointing, that. But you can use that. The sheep will eat that meadow if you want, but once again, once that runs out, that's technically no good unless you're just going to put grass or hay in there. So that's the only disappointing thing with the grazing. I'm going to quickly show you some of the other animal pens while we're here, just to show you that it will work with these guys. So we're going to go on to the horses. Now this will hold 11 horses, so if we come out to there, I'll stay away from that. We will customize the fence, so again we'll just do something a bit, we'll make it a bit bigger so that it will definitely, or should definitely, hold more than 11 horses. Snap that back in like so. We will plant the meadow, not that it does anything, but we will do that. We'll get rid of that. Now if I can quickly jump to that, because it's easier than me running. Don't seem to be able to run as fast in this game as you did in 22, but that will now allow us to put 16 horses in there, so 5 more than the original pen. So that's pretty cool. And now if we go up, we will put down some pigs. We'll go down this side, and again we'll do something like this. So this should hold 36 pigs. We will do the same fence line. I mean, you wouldn't really expect pigs to be running around in grass anyway, would you? They like to run around in their own muck, really, which is nice. But we will place that down. In fact, that does that. I've not actually placed down a pig pen or pasture, so that's pretty cool. At least it didn't come up with grass. I was worried it was going to. That's nice. I'll quickly jump to there. What did I say that one would hold? It should hold 36 pigs. We should be on 151, which is cool. Now, just the chickens to show you. Yeah, we won't do bees. Can't do bees. So we will do this, and we will come over to here. This should hold 31 chickens. We'll place this down. Oh, hang on. No, see, I haven't tried this one either. I don't want that. We'll get rid of that one. We'll abandon that one. So let's place down. Oh, I guess it doesn't work with chickens then. Something I've just learnt. Okay, so it doesn't work with chickens. That is it for that one. That's a bit of a shame. I was hoping we could expand that and get some decent amount of chickens off of that. But there you go. So it works with all of them apart from chickens, bees and the dogs. But there we go. That is a little insight into the dynamic pastures and the grazing. So I hope you have found this helpful and useful, and I haven't waffled on too much. But if you have found it helpful, please hit that like button, guys, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. That would be awesome. And don't forget to smash that bell so you don't miss any future videos I post. I've been FarmSim Snowy. Stay frosty.